it's James with NetNewsLedger, and as part of our Politics 2.0 coverage, we're talking to federal Green Party leadership candidate David Merner. David, welcome to NetNewsLedger.
Thanks very much, James. It's great to be with you.
Now, you've been campaigning virtually in the COVID-19 era. This must be a little different for campaigning.
It really is different. I love the face-to-face campaigning. I crossed the country in February and March. I was actually in Thunder Bay in early March at the Unitarian Church with a whole bunch of Greens. And it's a lot more fun when you're face-to-face. I've been on Zoom calls, hundreds of Zoom calls and telephone calls. It's very different. You're right.
Now, the elevator speech, David. Someone out there listening, they want to find out why would they vote Green and why would they vote for you for leader?
Fantastic. So that's about 30 seconds you're giving me, right, James? And,
whatever you
so
need.
On the first, perfect. On the first one, on why would they vote Green, what I'd say is that the Greens have been consistent since we were founded. We're not typical politicians. I'm not a typical politician. We don't say one thing and do another. We've always been saying that we're the party of environmental justice, where polluters pay. We're the party of social justice, where we don't leave anybody behind in our society. We're a wealthy enough society to look after everybody. And we're a party that really believes in protecting taxpayer money and not wasting. Before we were formed as a Green Party, we were called a small party because it was about keeping things real, keeping things under control, not going beyond our means. And a lot of people in Canada don't realize that the Greens are very fiscally responsible too. We always campaign on balanced budgets. We cost out every promise we make to the dollar, and we get it reviewed by the Parliamentary Budget Officer, an independent officer of Parliament, to make sure we got our math right. So we're really serious about some things I believe that Northern Ontarians and Canadians generally really care about. And as far as me, well, I'm, like I said earlier, I'm a regular guy. I'm not a politician. I'm not going to be somebody who says one thing during an election campaign and then pretty much does the opposite after, like Justin Trudeau's done systematically on so many of his promises. I'm a person who really believes in connecting with the grassroots. I'm going to come back to Thunder Bay, I hope, in August and September on this campaign. And I really believe that if you listen to Canadians and take a common sense approach to what Canadians need, that we can really change the country in the direction we need it to go. And that's been my experience. I've been a lawyer in government for many, many years, working on deep transformational change in government. And I know in my bones that government can sometimes really not work for the people of Canada, and we need to make it work for the people of Canada.
Government sometimes seems to think that they're like the Titanic, and they turn real slow. And we end up with a lot of people getting hurt in that slow process. What kind of big changes? Okay, the next election has happened, and you're the Prime Minister of Canada in a Green majority government. What's the first thing you do?
First thing we do is a guaranteed livable income. We've been campaigning on that since we were founded back in 1983. And we've seen from the Canada Emergency Response Benefit that benefit doesn't work. Checks are going all over the map. It's not fair. Not everybody is covered in a fair, equal way. If they brought in a guaranteed livable income right from the start, it would have been much more fair. And this is really important, much less bureaucracy. I mean, they've got so many programs running right now, benefit programs running in Ottawa and in the provinces and so on. We need to cut through that red tape, and a very simple, universal, basic income for all Canadians. We'll tax it back on people who are wealthier, but let's be fair and simple in how we run these programs. That's one thing. Of course, environment is at the heart of what we're talking about. We listen to the science. A lot of people sort of don't believe it, but it's true. The Green Party is full of scientists and engineers and really expert people, and we listen to the experts, and they're saying we have 5 or 6, maybe 7 years before climate change becomes irreversible. I mean, we're seeing fires in Siberia this summer, right? Things are changing and changing really fast, and we need strong leadership. Like you said, we're kind of on the Titanic. We're not moving fast enough on the climate emergency, and that doesn't mean we have to shut down our economy. It's the opposite. What we need to do is invest in our economy so we move off fossil fuels and onto renewables. Sorry, James. And we have a really good plan on how to do that, how to build an east-west grid entirely powered by renewables, how we invest in small business, how we cut red tape for small business. And I believe that this is a message that Canadians everywhere, Northern Ontario, Alberta, really need to hear. People have some misconceptions about the Green Party, but I see us as the common sense party, the party that's going to do the right thing for future generations, 7 generations rather, down the road.
Now, in northwestern Ontario and across Canada, Indigenous people are trying to, for lack of a better term, get up on their feet. Often what government seems to be doing is funding organizations, and so by the time the help gets down to the grassroots, to the mums, the dads, and the families, all the, it's like you're getting the last cut of roast beef off of. Everybody takes a slice before they get it. What could be done better?
Yeah. Well, that's exactly right, James. And this guaranteed livable income idea we've been campaigning on for so long cuts through all that, those middle people, right? All the bureaucracy and infrastructure. It puts a check in the hands of Canadians. And it's been tested. Finland's done it. Ontario had a test program, a pilot program that worked well until the Conservatives came along and cut it. But the evidence in Finland and Manitoba and everywhere is that if you give people the basics, they're not going to just use it to, like so many Conservatives say, drink beer and waste the money. They're going to actually spend it on their kids. They're going to spend it on clothing so they can go to the job interview and get a job. I think a lot of Canadians saw during the COVID-19 crisis and the self-isolation, it's actually really not the best kind of life to be stuck at home. We want to get out. We want to be productive. I say the vast majority of Canadians want to get out there and work if they can connect with the economy, and that's what we believe. And that's why we're saying, let's invest in a guaranteed livable income. Let's collapse all these other welfare programs into that and make one clear, simple program that really benefits Canadians who need the money, not all the bureaucrats and everybody else in between.
So you're suggesting a much smaller bureaucracy in Ottawa?
Well, there are people who say that the guaranteed livable income could collapse down, the welfare bureaucracy in Ottawa in a significant way. And you know what? Let's put those folks to progressive, practical, useful work. I did this in my job. I was in the justice system for 28 years, and we figured out a way to cut all the judges and lawyers out of small claims court in British Columbia. They weren't happy, but it didn't make sense for a judge earning $300,000 a year to be sitting there deciding small claims cases. It was just a waste of taxpayer money. Those are $25,000 cases. You don't need a judge earning that money to do it. And what we did is we put those judges to better use. We have a backlog of criminal cases here in BC. Let's get them onto the serious crime cases and off the small claims. It's not like we are just going to say, okay, you're an unemployed judge now. We have way better ways of using the talent of our bureaucrats in a productive, strong way. But we need leadership to do it. And right now, there's a sense, we can't possibly do that. We can't make those kinds of changes. 1,001 excuses for not taking action. We see all these reports coming out on Indigenous issues, on how the economy works, and all these great recommendations and no action. And what the Green Party needs to be, I believe, is the party of action. We're not going to take these small steps anymore that the Conservatives and the Liberals and the NDP all promise. Oh, yeah, we'll take all these great little steps. We need deep change in Canada. We're facing some serious issues like the pandemic, like the next pandemic that could come along, like global warming, and that takes strong, transformational change type leadership. And that's what I would offer as leader of the Greens.
Someone wants to vote for you as Green Party leader. What do they do?
Go to davidmerner.com. It's really simple, and you'll see a green button there that says join the party. It's $10. Click on that button. It's $10, and you can change the course of the Green Party and Canadian history. Click on that. You'll go to a link that says join the Green Party, and even better, if you wanted to donate, you can actually go through the donate button as well, because I'm traveling the country starting in July, August, September. I was off the road because of COVID-19 in March, but I want to get back on the road, and any donation would help a lot too, James. I appreciate you asking that question.
David, I appreciate you taking the time to speak with our readers and viewers, and thank you very much.
Thank you, sir. Really appreciate it.
Have a good evening.
Yeah.
Stay informed and stay up to date. Hit subscribe, hit like, share this with a friend. Make sure you hit the little bell so you get notified the next time that we have a video up. Thanks for tuning in to NetNewsLedger.